CN Tower, baby. By the way, I think I might be a bit autistic, you know.
Nah, man, don't say that.
Holy sh! What the heck was that? Bro, that is so trippy. Please don't blink. Bro, wait, is it like a 3? No, it's not 3D. It is 3D. What is this?
I think if you go to the front of
It's a freezer. This looks so like America with 7-Eleven. I am off to watch the first MLS game. First time I'm seeing Toronto FC play. I think the last time I saw Toronto FC was with DC United, and that game ended 2-2, I think. But I think it was 2-2 in the first half or something like that. So if I can get to see at least 3 or 4 goals, I take it as a dub. It's also the first time I'm seeing this is the first time I'm seeing sports as well in Canada. And you know what, look at this. Canada looks so pretty, right? Like, I've been here for a week and every day has been like this, sunny, not so cold. Anyways, let's head off to the stadium. I'm gonna meet with Kevin as well, and then we'll go and watch our first MLS game, well, our first Toronto FC game today. I made it and I can already smell the what's it called, Mary Jane?
Mary Jane.
Yeah, I can already smell the Mary Jane, which is hosting the World Cup in 2026. It's going to be expanded to like 40k. Right now it's like about 20 something. Nice. Perks of being a BMO customer, even though, but see, at least we avoided a lot of traffic. Oh, there's another United fan there. Probably be sad. Today I'll be sharing my experience coming here, why I came here, why I left Dubai, and how I'm feeling so far living in Canada, and also debunking a few things that I see on the internet. So before coming here, before I even applied for my PR, there was just way too many negativity, especially on YouTube and Facebook groups that I joined regarding how it is to live in Canada, why people are going back from Canada, and yeah, overall why Canada is such a bad country. Now, I don't agree to everything that I heard. However, there are some truth to it, and I'll just be sharing my experience on how things were good for me and why it was bad for a lot of other people. Well, to begin with, I have 3 main reasons why I left Dubai and why I moved to Canada. Actually, I should just say why I moved to Canada. I shouldn't say I left Dubai, because Dubai was never the place that, or at least it wasn't the place that I was supposed to be living in, especially the last year. I have a job in North America. I have a job specifically, well, technically employed in Canada. I work as a tourism consultant, and yeah, a lot of times I do need to, I work with North American clients most of the time, and I need to be present within this continent, I would say, because a lot of our clients are all in America. So from a career point of view, it was needed that I had to be here in Canada. So that was my number 1 reason, and also the fact that I have a job, or my job is in Canada, made me, make this decision much easier, that, apply for a PR, come here, and I can work how I've been working for the past 2 years. Second reason is, yes, after living in Dubai for over a year as a remote worker, I had the luxury of, having a decent salary there. I thought, working remotely, I had the whole day to myself. I thought I'll have a lot more time to enjoy, a lot more time to explore the country that I didn't get when I was working like a dead 9-to-5 job when I was there before. But in the end, I just felt a lot more depressed over there. Before, my thinking was that, if you had money in Dubai, things would be so great. However, that was not the case for me. I felt like even if I was making money without paying taxes and living with my family, not paying rent and stuff. But yeah, a lot of my friends were leaving. I was feeling depressed. There was nothing much that the country could offer that made me want to stay, apart from my family, of course, and some of my best friends were still there. But even then, like, my friends were just too burned out by working like 9 till midnight, and yeah, it was just so hard to like make any plans or anything. Like literally the last 4-5 months, that I lived there were really, really difficult. In fact, the last 14 months when I lived there, the best highlights I could think of are when I actually left Dubai to go to like London or for the World Cup in Qatar and other places. So yeah, it got depressing to be in Dubai even when you make money. So I just thought that, maybe a change of scenario is what I needed. I just came back from Washington DC, being there for 3 years, and it made more sense for me to come to Toronto because it's in the Northeast and still close proximity to New York and DC, where I still have a lot more friends. And final point is that Toronto especially is a city where I do have a lot of friends and connections. In fact, this last 1 month, I met a lot of my friends that I've known from school days. I met my cousin brother after like ages. So in a way, Toronto is like the city where I have like the most connections. So I felt so like welcomed. I felt so at ease being here. It just didn't feel like I moved to a new country, because actually every weekend I'm seeing my friends and connecting with them, and it just felt so natural coming here. Yeah, I'm still there to explore a lot of places. I'm still exploring like a lot of different groups, like soccer groups, I know how to say soccer, and a few other things like musical theater, choir, things like that. So overall, I'm excited to be here, and so far it's been really a great experience. So how has it been here? Yes, it's been a great experience, but on top of it, for me personally, Toronto felt like a lot of cities that I would say like Boston, Philadelphia, a bit of DC, and a tiny bit of New York, especially like near the financial district. And not just about the financial district, but more of the fact that there's a lot of different cultures here. I just felt so at ease, it just felt like I'm in a different American city. Honestly, even if if I was very bad at geography and someone dropped me in Toronto, I probably would have guessed it to be an American city, because there are a lot of things that are similar. People do say that it's a lot different compared to the United States, but for me, until now, for a month, I still felt like very much like how I was living in DC. But I'm not saying it in a bad way. People who come from like other countries, like straight from India or somewhere like that, they will feel a bit more different, especially even if you come from the UAE directly to Canada. I think there are going to be like a bit of shocks here and there, because you just get accustomed to having that convenience quite easily. So this is going to be a bit different, but for me personally, I felt very much like how I was in the US, and a lot safer. I know people are scared of coming to Canada, and after like hearing all these stories about like what's happening in Toronto and stuff, compared to what I was I didn't experience any kind of like hostile situations. However, there were times when things were not great, or I would hear about news about like something that happened right across the block. I feel a lot safer just walking at night or even in downtown. Yes, there are crazy people out there. Yes, there are homeless people out there, but if you mind your own business, it's going to be fine. There are always a protest and stuff going on. But you know what? In the end, if you take care of yourself, I think you'll be fine in the long run. Obviously, things could happen, but as long as you stay vigilant, you will be fine. So what's next for me is I need to find my own place to stay. I'm still debating on whether I should buy or rent. I came here thinking that I will be buying a house right away, or an apartment, like design it and get so much stuff in, and I always dreamt of having a house or like my own place to stay. So obviously that's something I'm aiming for, but at the moment when I got here, there were like a few other alternatives on how you can grow your money. So I'm still debating on what I should actually do. Should I wait up to buy a house? There are still few factors to consider when buying, or conditions that I have got. So I'm still working around those things. So that's the next step that I gotta do. So yeah, that's one thing that I need to do, buy a house or rent a house for myself. The second thing would be to get my driver's license. I can go places without depending on the public transport, which by the way isn't bad. I've been in places where public transport has been very poor. Toronto is not that bad. It's good. It's got itself buses and trains and trams and all that, and even regional trains. They're good. You can go to a point A to point B, even though it might take some time. Now, another point that I keep hearing is the cost of living going up. Now, there is truth to that. I'm not denying that, but for me personally, I didn't feel that much of a difference. I was comparing prices from US to Canada. Yes, there were certain things that were a bit more pricier. There were certain things that were cheaper than in the US. But then obviously when you compare from like coming from India, obviously it's going to be well expensive. Coming from Dubai, it's a bit tricky. There are obviously things that are much cheaper here compared to Dubai. And there are obviously things, a lot of things that are cheaper in Dubai than in Canada. However, I gotta say this, like for example, if you're living in Dubai or you lived in Dubai, if you go to Waitrose or Spinneys, which is like the premium grocery stores, you would get something for like 30 bucks, 40 bucks, whether it be like a foreign butter or like a foreign ice cream. The same thing you can get here for like the equivalent of half of that price or even much lesser. In a way, for me, how I see it is that you get better products for cheaper price, because obviously in Dubai you would have alternatives like going to a Lulu and getting something like an off-brand for much cheaper, and that obviously would reduce the cost of living. Whereas over here you could get a better premium product for a lesser price than Dubai, because obviously they don't need to pay import fees and all that. I didn't feel that much of a difference, like even fruits, like getting bananas, cereals, milk, bread. I think these are the main things that I bought because I was living in an Airbnb. Well, this is an Airbnb. This is literally my last day here. So in conclusion, well, my main camera's battery just got over, so I might have to do the last segment through this phone. So would I recommend people to come to Canada or to come to Toronto? Well, it depends, because for me personally, the main thing that people need to consider is that I had a job in Canada, so it made it so much easier for me in terms of like finding a job, finding a source of income for me monthly. And also I saved up a lot of money when I was in Dubai to come here and to like, you know, buy a house and put it in for down payment, all that stuff. So I did make a financial decision. I made like a financial planning before like a couple of years to make sure that, you know, when I come here, I would have enough of a safety net to sustain myself. But more importantly, I had a job. I think that's more important than having a safety net, because if you could get a job, or if you have a job before coming here, you'll have a really great time, because that eradicates a lot of problems that a lot of people that do come here, migrating here, go through. So if you have a job, if you can get a job, if you're 100% certain that you can be employed here, I would recommend coming here if you are not happy with the place that you're living in. However, if you're coming here in the hope that you're going to find a job, things can look a bit dark for you, because it's not that easy to get a job here. I'm not saying it's impossible. I've heard so many stories where people got jobs within their first week of coming here in PR. But still, there's like a lot of people that are still struggling to find a job and to find a source of income. So, you know, there are also a lot of perks of being a PR as compared to coming as a student visa and stuff like that. I would not recommend coming as a student visa, because it's going to be a bit difficult to get the PR in terms of the processing time, and also you are going to be spending a lot of money to get that Canadian degree, Canadian education, because there's a myth that, you know, people say that, you know, you need to have a Canadian experience to get a job. To the few friends that I met so far, none of them had Canadian experience. They all got hired without that much of a Canadian work experience. I didn't have work experience either when I got employed in America. But again, I think mine is a different story. I wouldn't equate to that. But overall, people don't need to have a Canadian experience. You might need to have some good experience working for an MNC, because that would boost your chances of getting hired. And obviously you need to be good at the job, and you need to be good with your CV, with your interview skills, and all that stuff. Now, if you're coming with your wife, and if your wife also has a job, you would love it. You can buy a better house in the suburbs and you know, get a car, and you can have a really good life. I'm still gonna experience the winters here. It's almost end of October and it's not gone down below 5 degrees here. It's been standard like around 15 to 18 degrees. Kind of excited for the winter. It's gonna be like my first proper winter in Canada. In DC, it was like maybe for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks at tops. And most of the times I was away in Dubai when it was like proper winter. So I'm actually excited to experience Canadian winter. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. I'll be hopefully making some more vlogs. And if you do have any questions about coming to Canada, how's it? Or if you have any other questions about like housing, how to prepare for work, I guess, do let me know in the comments below and I'll try to help you out. Anyways, take care, have fun, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.